Countdown.
All right, this is Chaos Theory, Season 2, Episode 1, starting in...
You want me to do the intro to that too, saying that it's Season 2? We are premiering Season 2.
Yep. All right.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Chaos Theory Podcast. I am your co-host, Ivan, a.k.a. Kinetic, and we are back with a second episode in 2 weeks, so I hope you guys are excited. We have a really great episode coming up ahead for you, and take it away, Ken.
What is up, guys? We are back. We had just done episode 10. We capped off season 1 with a fantastic episode over here with my man General Thrillah. Okay, woo-hoo. We touched up on some hot topics. There's a lot more that we have to cover, guys. We're not going to waste any time. Okay, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for sticking by us with
this whole time. Yes,
yeah, 10 episodes, dude.
Thank you, guys.
Time flies.
And we are ready to kick off season 2.
Season 2, and not only that, we have a surprise for you. We have another co-host joining us today, and that's none other than Daryl on WORLDMATCHUE. What's up, bud?
It's your boy. How we doing, everybody? Y'all know who it is. Good to be back in the studio with you guys.
Welcome back, brother.
It's going to be a little different. You know, now we got 4 heads, 4 different mentalities, you know, 4 brothers.
4 different perspectives for you guys.
But are you a new beast?
Well, that remains to be seen. All right, Thriller, we're going to finish up with your... There's a lot that we got to talk about, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of hot topics, like I mentioned, and we're not going to waste any time. I did want to go over you and Ivan, because you and Ivan originally had met a while back.
Yeah.
Tell us, tell us how that went down.
You know, it's actually a funny story. We go way back, I think, to like 2009. And I do remember, you know, saying in the last episode that, you know, how I make music and everything. And one of those funny coincidences was that, like, I went over to a buddy's house party. And
it was like a house party?
Yeah, it's like a house party.
For the block,
Yeah. And shout outs to the homie. He's the one of the co-founders of the groups that I'm in now, our collective called the Feel Good Collective. And the way we met was that, you know, we were at the house, and he had mentioned, like, because, you know, I do dancing too, and he was into the popping, locking stuff, and he, like, put on a song, you know, a track. He's like, man, I love this song, dude. And little did he know that the song that he was playing was my song that I created for, like, the dance scene. And then I told him, I was like, yo, check it out. This is who made it. It's me. He's like,
get the fuck out of here, bro. That's sick.
It's just, like, you know, such a coincidence. And then, like, and then I met Ivan there at the party, and then, you know, they were playing MvC2 at the time, and I think me and him got, like, some casuals in, and during that time, that's when MvC2 was just freshly released, and I was playing with Arthur, doing the scrubby, like, you know, kind of like just
chucking spears, just chucking the axe,
spears, bro. And then it led to me and him going, like, man, let's just dodge this. Let's get
play
to some
real
Marvel
shit.
2. Let's play some real shit. Let's play Marvel
man.
2. And then from there, that's how we just kind of, like, met and hit it off, man. And so it's awesome, just, like, running back into him now, you know, after all these years, and you know, we're putting in different, you know, contributing to the culture in different ways, other than just playing the game, man.
Dude, we've come a long way, bro.
Yeah.
So that was what, like 2010?
Yeah, 2009, 2010.
Yeah, because Marvel 3 had just come out. I think I was playing Dante at the time.
You were.
Because Dante was just something.
Dante was hot, bro.
I love Dante,
he was.
bro.
I played him too.
Yeah.
Like, I tried him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Devil May Cry, man. That
exactly.
series was just, like, super popular.
Yeah, DMC
Yeah,
was
dude,
just
that's the only good thing I'll say about the game, because I think it's trash.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I love watching
That's
it.
garbage.
I love watching it.
No, you know what? Yeah, it is very visually entertaining to watch.
Yes.
I just could never get into the mechanics.
I don't think I can play it because, like, those like the hitboxes are super wonky, bro. Like when they hit you with, like, a standing S and the character standing behind you, but it still hits every single time, with Virgil. And I'm like, nah, that would piss me off right there. Like,
I mean,
I'm throwing not only my stick but your stick across the fucking the event hall.
Because, you know, a lot of it is not intentional. Like, they don't mean to hit, like cross up. It just happens,
bro.
sometimes.
And
Like,
it's
cross
just
up, dive kick, like
the time they give them to, like, pick up an OTG. Like, they have 5 seconds to pick the character up off the floor. I'm like, I get, like, a quarter of a second in Marvel 2, bro, especially off of an OTG that I already knocked you on the floor. Like, forget about it.
Get out of here,
right?
Oh my god.
anyways, moving
All right,
on.
we're gonna get back to Marvel 2. There was one thing that we didn't talk about, Thrilla, and that was the Amir situation at Evo 2022.
Oh boy,
because I know that you were running You were kind of running the show there.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of stuff that was left in the dark in terms of, people were mentioning stuff like politics and stream hogging and stuff like that.
Right.
You were there. You were at the forefront. I mean, walk us through that whole process and what did you think about it?
It all started with, CYF hit me up and they were like, and this is during the time where like everybody's saying like F Evo, fuck Evo, let's do our own thing. And, and that left a bad taste in my mouth too, like in the sense that like I was in agreement, like, dude, let's do our own thing. And I actually opted out of going to the tournament, but CYF and Pasadena had convinced me to say, hey man, come along and maybe stream the money matches that are going down. And Amir had called out I believe Roundhouse, he called out Andy MSP, he called out Andy Doom. Like he just wanted to play and dude put like a lot of money down on the line. So for the people that don't know, I mean, these money matches were like in the thousands of dollars. And that led to me, me and CYF hit me up and saying, hey, do you want to stream? But our original and like my original thought was that it's going to be a salty suite. And come day of, it wasn't nowhere near a salty suite. It just was just kind of like their own secluded,
Airbnb, right?
Yeah, Airbnb. And it was nothing like how we had envisioned, because what we envisioned originally was that it would be a salty suite and we would stream the money matches like either upstairs or downstairs, and Pasadena would stream like the salty suite, right? And I would just do the money matches, but that all fell apart, and it just led to me streaming just the money matches.
So like how many setups did they have going at one time, since it wasn't a salty suite? And typically a salty suite is like multiple setups, like 5
right.
6 plus setups,
right?
And then usually just one main setup with like a stream that everyone's there.
It was just the one.
So it was just
house.
one setup. So it wasn't was not a salty suite. It was it was someone's Airbnb with one setup.
It could have been a miscommunication too on my part, as like I thought, hey, I thought this was a salty suite because we had discussed it as being a salty suite.
Yeah.
But it just turned out to being, it always comes down to
really quick. Not to interject. Can you, for context, explain to the listeners what is a salty suite?
A salty suite is just a place, of gathering for like really salty money matches, or just money matches in general, or just like more than just casual play, and it could turn salty because of the fact of people losing money and all this stuff on the line, and people get salt in their veins. And
that's usually one of it's definitely anticipated after every tournament, because it's almost like you get a feeling.
It's become the tradition.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a tradition, and it's almost like a feeling of exclusiveness.
Yeah.
Like if somebody hits you up, hey, we're going to be at room so and so at this hotel. Stop by. We're going to money match.
Right. Yeah, but don't bring anybody else with you. It's very exclusive.
Yeah, because normally the salty suite happens like after tournament hours, like after the event hall shuts down. You go up to someone's room, whoever has the biggest room. That's why it's normally a suite. Right. And then you just have multiple sessions there. So it's almost like a second event hall, a smaller event hall, but you're only having like real crack going on, like some money matches, some grudge matches, like the real stuff,
Yeah, and for money matches of this for this caliber, this amount of money that was being wagered, we thought that it was going to be a salty suite environment. A lot of people there, a lot of people in attendance, high energy, high octane, emotion running through the room. And I guess that wasn't the case, right?
Not the case at all. And it just, I was actually bummed about that, because people were trying to come to the salty suite, quote unquote, but it turned out to be like a library match of just two dudes playing, but the people there had to stay silent, And granted that it's their money and it's Amir's money, he can ask for the stipulations, to make it correct. So that, because if it's like $200, $300, whatever, right? Get rowdy. But if it was your own money, that's where I look at from the other side. It's like, dude, if I'm playing for $5K, I don't want any fucking thing bothering me that can throw off my game. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get you, but I feel like everybody feels that way. Like when they're in grand finals, like I worked my ass off to get here. Nobody should be able to tell me, "Fuck you, Thrilla," and then I drop my infinite. Like no, like that tough shit. You gotta get over it. That's what Marvel, in my eyes, has been about. Like you gotta not only prove yourself in tournament, but like now you got to prove yourself in a room full of motherfuckers who hate you and want to see you lose, they're trying to distract you, and you have to overcome all odds. Not only just that, like when behind you, but your opponent across from you. Because sometimes your opponent, you play a guy like Smooth Viper, and he's talking shit to you while he's beating you. So
and that's what made Marvel 2 so great, was that hype, and that's what was missing from that from that session. That session. And there was a controversial situation that happened too with them calling off the match with Neo, and I tried to do damage control by picking up the pieces and trying to call all parties and saying, hey man, is this thing still going down on the last day? Because we weren't trying to do all the money matches in one fell swoop. And thank goodness, because on the first day I had a technical difficulties with the DC HDMI and outputting it to the PC. So, and what's sad is that I take full blame for that too, because that footage is lost, and I only have the second portion of him playing Roundhouse from first to 15 on to the first to 25 that they had, and then second day with Ivan. And that's another whole thing with Ivan was, the wait time on that too for that match to happen was like everybody showed up on time, but then
Regency Ivan, right?
Regency Ivan, yeah. So,
typical Ivan.
And one of those things that happened was that he showed up after maybe us trying to figure out, is he gonna play or not? And that's after Amir and COF, I guess, like had canceled the whole money matches altogether. And
it was very peculiar stipulation requests, if I'm not mistaken. The match setup was first to 25.
Yeah,
I think, was it for
some of them? Yeah.
Which match we're talking about? For Roundhouse, it was.
For Andy Doom is first to 15. Then I think it's a first to 15 with Ivan. Then Neo was supposed to be a first to 15 as well.
So who played first in those sets? Who played first? Like Amir versus
Andy Doom versus Amir.
What did they play for? First to what?
First to 15.
15. Yeah.
How much money did they play for?
I believe it was 5K.
And that one was a silent match. That was the first of the library matches.
Yeah.
They were all library matches.
They were all, yeah.
That poses I guess it's a never-ending question, is what do you put value in more? A set where it's first to 10 casuals, no pressure.
Right.
Or a first to 15.
Yeah.
For X amount of money.
Right.
With people in your ear.
Yeah. I feel like that's what, to me, I feel like it's their money, that's their agreement.
Right.
But I would have wished to have seen it like on something like, how we've done it at past Evos, where it's like, it's the salty sweet. We're running this shit. Like everybody's here.
Yeah, we're just going to keep it on. Yeah, let's do the norm, bro. Like, there's nothing wrong. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro. Yeah, exactly.
Like old school UFC.
Set the fucking TV up in the bathroom and let's run it. I don't care. Put the TV on the toilet, bro. Like,
a lot of people, run it. A lot of people in the back got involved the next day at the Evo tournament when Amir was playing. The other, they made sure to be loud and get in his ear and talk all kinds of shit. And it's almost like night and day, man. If you're the kind of guy that can't really play with a crowd in your ear, it's you can see it in your gameplay.
Yeah.
So once again, I mean, how do you put?
I mean, well, that's like the same argument when people go back to saying, like, people play so comfortable when you're at home in your own environment, in your room, in your boxers playing. No one's yelling at you or screaming in your ear. There's no distractions compared to when you're in a tournament setting and then you hear all these sounds. You can't hear the game. Like, someone's yelling obscenities in the background. She has her tits out. Like, what is this? This is nonsense.
I must
Disclaimer,
admit,
that never happens.
So, I mean, taking it back to Fight Kingdom, I think Fight Kingdom was super rowdy. Due to maybe one person. Shout outs to Big Weed, dude. And I was playing one of my games, and it goes back to that where, like, can you perform your best if people are shouting literally right behind your ear? And him and his goons were doing that because, we were up in, their territory.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like yelling like, F him up. I don't care if I like you, Thrillah. I'm rooting for my friend.
Bro, those boys were a hooting and a hollering. Like they were they were yelling for sure.
These guys sold all of their DVDs and stuff at FYE for a ticket. This guy
turned over every couch cushion to make it there. Like he was being loud. He was going to be heard.
Again, man.
You were going to hear him.
I gotta love them. They were providing all the entertainment for sure. I was living off of their energy.
Absolutely.
Man. But that's why Fight Kingdom ended up being one of the best tourneys in recent memory.
Yeah, bro, that was sick. That was sick. I'm still waiting for. Well, I don't want to say like I'm waiting for the next tournament to be like that because 37 was obviously like awesome, but yeah, that's just making me want to just, dude, when's the next major, bro? Like I want that again.
I mean, Amir smashed Ivan. He smashed Roundhouse. He smashed Andy Doom. So the next. I mean, everyone was talking about what was next.
It was supposed to be Neo. What happened with that?
So, I mean, I don't want to touch on it too long, but I mean, long story short was that like I said, I was doing damage control. I was calling Justin Wong. I was talking to Neo on the phone, and pretty much, all the backers that after they had canceled and everybody that was backing Neo was like got wind of it. It was like, bro, what the hell, And Neo had called me and told me how distasteful, that shit was. And he just felt like, bro, I was training for this, and for it to not happen, it really put a bad taste in his mouth.
Why did it not happen though?
It didn't happen because, like I said, the backers, by that time, after it being like an hour or two, they all had done their own shit. Some people had left already home back to, going back to wherever they came from. And the match didn't happen, just because of the backers.
Because the money wasn't right.
The money wasn't right. And also, time was ticking. It was already like almost the end of the day. It was just a lot of factors going into it. But that pretty much that's what it came down to.
I mean, he was the talk of the town for Evo. Everybody wanted to see him play against everybody.
Yeah.
I only got to play against him in tournament once.
Yeah.
It was first to 3, I think the setup. Afterwards, nobody really felt good about it because he had destroyed a lot of top guys, I guess, if you want to.
And what are your guys' thoughts on that, on Amir's play? And were you guys surprised by any of the results?
I was actually pleasantly surprised that he had done enough research to pick these guys apart.
Yeah.
His style is very safe, and it's very flowchart. Mm-hmm. He's a very safe player. He was doing the bare minimum to get the win. Nothing fancy, just pinpoint accuracy. It's like you couldn't say anything bad about it. And the bad part was that he was able to fly back and tell everybody, or he didn't even have to say it. It's just, we're not as good as we thought we were. We're not the MvC2 superpower, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So we had to hold that L, After that, what I do want to touch up on, Thrillah, is Texas Showdown, because we went over the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
For Evo. What happened at Texas Showdown with? Because you were there when Smooth Viper was popping up to Roundhouse and all that. What happened with that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was just one thing for sure was that I wasn't in a good mind space in general, like playing at Texas Showdown. I was just back there, like I said, to be with the homies and have a good time. But they had left an open seat for like anybody to go and commentate at Texas Showdown. And I guess, Roundhouse being Roundhouse was just like, saying that everybody sucks and, like, oh, you think he's nice? Oh, you think, like, come on, man, quit playing with me, and what made it worse was that, like, my family's watching this, right? And Roundhouse is supposed to be somebody who I guess, we're just like cool, me and him are just cool, but my family's watching this and they're like hearing him talking, the way he talks about people, and then while I'm playing, against Combo Fiend, and my family was like, yo, what's up with this dude? Isn't he supposed to be like your neighbor and, you're cool with him? And why is he talking shit about you like this, on stream? I thought he's supposed to be like supporting you and whatnot. And so, that left a bad taste in my mouth. But then, other than me, same thing happened for Smooth Viper. People were, he was getting like, he was hearing about this from the side, like, yo, Roundhouse is like talking about you. And then after, I guess, Eric, Smooth Viper, like got done playing, I think it was like Kodiak or something like that. He just like got up.
Shout out to Daniel.
He got up and walked his ass straight to Roundhouse while Roundhouse was commentating and was like popping off at him like, you want to see me? You want to see me right now? Or something like that. Yo. And Roundhouse like looking like, a big eyeball just taken back like, yo.
Hey.
Like this is like the Charlemagne, like, yo, dog, coming at me strong.
What are you doing, dude?
I want to answer the question.
Go ahead, answer the question. Can I ask you one question? Can I ask you one question? And that was like one of the highlights of Texas Showdown, because then that led to the whole like, oh, is Smooth Viper gonna be playing Roundhouse in the near future? It's like, oh, let's see it unfold. Let's see what happens next.
Run it back last time.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a set between those two, right? Because I remember hearing something about that. I was talking with a couple of the East Coast guys, and they mentioned it. Because I was like so out of the loop, and I was like, no shit, they're gonna play. They're like, yeah, who do you think's gonna win? And I'm like, well, I don't like Roundhouse, so like now I'm kind of biased, and I want to pick Smooth. I'm like, but he's East Coast, and I don't fuck with East Coast like that, so now I kind of want to pick dumbass Roundhouse. Like I don't know.
But Eric, shout outs to Eric. He's been putting in some work the past couple of years.
Yes,
dude,
he has.
Good.
When I played him at Texas Showdown, I honestly thought I would have lost that if I didn't like bite my freaking tongue and trying to like really stay calm, because he was picking me apart with Sentinel, and he was doing a great job of just laming me out.
What was he playing? Thrax and Row?
No, he was playing just straight Thrax.
Really?
And it was very patient, and it was getting like, this was a form of Smooth Viper I've never seen, right? This is something like I've seen him in the past play Roundhouse and all that stuff, but like seeing him play like and versus him firsthand, like I could see how good he's becoming, and he was reaching that point. It's just sad that like,
well, he's probably starting to touch a little bit on his actual skill, just shaking, like really started shaking the rust off.
Yeah, he was playing really good, man, and it just sucks that things had happened. We were supposed to get Smooth Viper versus Roundhouse at 37, but that didn't fall. That fell through. I was trying to get Smooth Viper out there, and that lined up, but we never really continued the conversation really after that during like the setup of 37 Reloaded. But that was supposed to be one of the like highlight money matches / draws to the tournament.
It's a shame that didn't go down. If they played right now, who do you guys think would win in a first to 10?
I think that during that time when Smooth Viper was coming off of a good high of like kind of like how he's been playing, I felt like if he sticks to that game plan of being lame and staying back, doing good zoning, I think it would be a very close match, but I think it would go to Smooth Viper, to be honest.
You think he'd switch to Scrub?
I feel like he would too, because Cable just shoots. I mean, even Roundhouse admitted that he doesn't do well against Cables, because Cable keeps people at bay, and Roundhouse is not very like kind of like an offensive player like that. He's just more, hey, come into my zone and let me just clip you with some.
Let me counter.
Yeah,
counter.
Yeah,
counter
exactly.
You, yeah.
My God, I hope we're able to see that match. Hopefully next year.
I mean, it could be possible depending on how Smooth Viper's feeling, but that's up to him to say.
That's definitely something to look out for, guys. Make sure you guys put in the comments who do you guys think would win between Smooth Viper and Roundhouse. Going off of the topic of Amir going back to the Philippines, took the W and all that. The next topic of discussion is the Philippines trip, the tour of Iron Man.
That's right.
How did that go about? Because you were on the VIP list to go over there along with Josh 360.
Yeah.
And walk us through it. How did that happen?
I mean, it was just a simple invite. Me and George being like as close as we are, he's my bro, and they wanted to set something up like an all Iron Man, kind of like a circuit, or like a kumite pretty much. And they thought at the time, me and Josh were putting in work. I'm sorry, World, I know you're here, but I've already told you, when we spoke about it, like, why didn't they invite World? Well, World at the time wasn't as active as he is now.
I wasn't.
And that's why, they didn't invite him,
And they didn't want this smoke. Let's be honest. And they didn't want this smoke. Let's be honest.
Without World being there, we had our bro from Hawaii, Rob, the Throbzilla.
He doesn't even play Iron Man. The fuck?
He can play Iron Man somewhat. he was. I was giving him some training
Shout
at
outs
the
to
house.
Rob.
Yeah, shout out to Rob, man. But then it's the way the format was a 3 tournament circuit, and whoever gets the most points wins the whole collective Ironman tour / circuit, or I Am Iron Man tournament. And but yeah, that's how the format was. How it started off, after the invites were sent out, after we got there, shout outs to Amir and CYF for sponsoring the trip and sponsoring the whole tournament. They wanted to throw something for the Philippines that was very kind of like curated, selective, and not just kind of like some big old, just Marvel 2 tournament, something, a specialized tournament. Because, that's the Philippines is the AKA the land of the Ironmen, because they played on damage 1 before switching over to damage level 2. And, going into it, I'm just coming off of, Texas Showdown, and then coming out of Fight Kingdom. It's like, bro, I'm like taxed. Like I said, I was fatigued. I was just like, you know what? I just want to go and have a good time. And then also, I had booked an appointment to get my hair procedure done.
Yeah.
I was trying to, look 20 years younger. So that was another factor too that
Nothing
played into
wrong
it,
with
all
that.
of it, because, when I had played originally, I got my surgery done before all of the tournaments, and, I'm playing with like a bleeding head, like bandaged up. And, but yeah, man, it was a good time. I ended up just, I don't want to glaze over it, but, I ended up getting second place. First place went to Jappy. The things that I could take away from like just playing in all 3 tournaments, man, the first tournament was amazing though. Like, it was a 3v3. My team was Josh 360, of course, and Robzilla. We got all the way to grand finals, and I call it like almost as big as the Rocket Punch heard around the world.
Oh God! Don't remind me of that.
And I had that moment too, where like I had Cable. We're in the grand finals. I'm about to kill. I think it was either Jappy or one of the guys with Cable, and I only had Cable left with like a sliver of life, and I had all 3 meters to beam Psylocke. So I get the first 2, but my third one drops, and I get a heavy or high punch Viper beam.
Yeah, standing on the floor?
No, in the air.
Okay.
But Psylocke drops out and rolls right under me.
Oh, fuck.
And launches,
and then launches
me,
into
and
a combo.
launches, combo, finishes, and
Yeah.
that was the end of the tournament. That day.
Nice.
And everybody was just like, oh, he's choking.
Yeah.
He's dying.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, the internet's not gonna love this. they're gonna love it. They're
Well, the haters love it, obviously,
right,
right?
right.
Do you feel like there were outside factors? I know that you said you were tired, but I mean, you're having your surgery done. If I'm not mistaken, you had like some food poisoning issues.
Yeah. It's just the level of food quality in the Philippines. I mean, it being kind of like a third world country, they didn't have like the best quality control on their food, obviously. But I mean, we ate what we could eat in the area, So I ended up. Shout outs again to CYF and everybody who were like catering the food and getting the food, but me not having a great stomach being over there, you don't ever drink like the water, right? If you're like from out,
Yeah.
You'll get the shits.
Yeah.
And that's what I had the first time around being there.
Even
but
ice, bro.
They
Yeah.
I mean, I really commend the community for the Filipino community for like. They had like cooked up their own food and everything and brought it over. But I was like, I'm sorry guys, I want to eat that, but I can't.
Oh, everybody had their own sack lunches?
Yeah, well, not even sack lunch. They had like cooked up a lot of like chicharron and stuff like that, like, and rice and everything. And they brought soup, and I was like, man, I really wish I could eat that, man, but I don't think my stomach's gonna be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And
that's one of the reasons why I don't want to go over there. Like Amir called me out for a first to 100, right? As everybody knows, this is like his big send off. He's kind of done with the game and all that.
Yeah.
I would like to go, but dude, my stomach would be destroyed
I mean, where we were in Makati, like they have really good restaurants that are clean and all that great, and the quality's good. Like the cafes that we ate at were great. It's just if you're trying to venture outside of that and trying to like eat at like the carts and everything, I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you like live there or like you have like medicine on the side to like help soothe your stomach type of thing. But yeah, that played a factor. I was fatigued from being like a little bit food poisoning, fatigued from having the surgery, all these plan Bs that I can think about. But other than that, like the main thing that I didn't do was I didn't take it seriously. I didn't take this tournament seriously at all. It was just more like, oh, I'm going to go. It's, I'm going to play my best that I can. Because I've already had all the practice I did from Texas Showdown and Fight Kingdom,
Yeah.
And you guys already seen me at Fight Kingdom, just kind of like, I was just, taking a step back really slowly.
Yeah.
Into...
you were on autopilot, for
much.
sure. Yeah, you were on autopilot, for sure.
You feel like the results would have been different if it would have been at, let's say, an EVO or a SoCal Regionals?
Had I participated in EVO that's last year, I think I would have done really well. But my heart was really focusing on just providing the content. We talked about me just wanting to get into content creation and just providing the stream because the only reason why I even wanted to stream Evo as well was just the fact that people weren't putting their trust in Onikage to provide that. And I was like, what, let somebody, even though I said F Evo, I was like, what, let me just try and do my due diligence and offer up my help any way possible. So
right. I hate to talk about it, dude. I mean, I know that we have to talk about it, but I really wish that you guys would have won over there.
Oh yeah,
at the Philippines, just because we got to hold that, dude, for a very, very long time.
That's true. That's very true.
Until Beats and Daryl go out there.
You motherfuckers, dude. If it has to be me, Beats, and Ray who goes down there, like the real Iron Men, and go beat those fucking Filipino Iron Man players,
shout outs to Beats.
I will. Because this is just pissing me off. You guys can't do this shit and not invite me.
Look,
mother Fs.
I would say if you do go and if they have another Iron Man circuit, I would say the best thing you can do is just do your homework. Because the Filipino players play very, very similar to each other. They all have the same kind of like attributes / play style, which is... Well,
I seen that they all just went to Psylocke just to counter assist call you, basically just to shut your assist down.
That's exactly it.
They weren't using an assist for damage. They weren't using it to keep you in place. They were just using their assist to knock your assist down, and Magneto beats out your other characters clean. He's faster than you. So they were just picking you apart, and at no point in time, because like I watched it, but I watched it late, and I remember like just sitting there watching. I'm just like, dude, like this is like super simple, like night and day. Like Thrilla's just not seeing it. Like I feel like you just needed an outside player just to touch your shoulder and be like, stop getting hit by Psylocke, and then you'd have been like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm just pushing a little. Like look, you just needed that one little step outside.
Besides like the tournament, I felt like I did well in the tournaments, right? But playing them in the money matches, I mean, only thing that I can say was that the South, like shout out to the South boys and the North boys. The South, they had an actual like kind of like similar play style to what we do here in the U.S., which is they don't do the safe route, right? They play kind of like how they play the teams, and they're kind of a little bit more aggressive than the North players. The North players are used to kind of just like holding back. I'm gonna wait until you come in and call a Psylocke, and it's no diss to the North players. It's just a very boring play style.
Yeah.
Had I done my research beforehand, I would have beat them, right?
Yeah.
No questions about it. Because when it came to after the second tournament, on the last tournament where it was kind of like a free for all, it was a kind of like a regular tournament. I was able to get the W's on everybody, right?
Yeah,
and it got me to the grand finals, and I played their best, I guess their OG player, Alex. But I mean, other than my pad just like giving out towards the end, that was the only thing that I could touch on, which was their play style is very patient and it's boring. And
hey, but it got the job done.
Yeah, it gets the job done. But now that you guys know, if you guys ever go out there and travel out there, that's just look forward to that. I mean, just expect that type of play style.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Don't expect aggressive play style. It's really just like Like how we played Mirage X, which we had a session just recently, and shout out to Mirage X for coming out. He plays that very similar, Filipino style, which is like holding back and not really going in.
Yeah.
You can see the similarities.
How would you, since you got to play them firsthand, how do you think they would stack up against some of the other U.S. players, like the Pasadenas, the Sanfords?
Great question. I feel that they wouldn't do well at all. Reason being is because other than myself, right, I strictly played Iron Man.
Yeah, you don't have a cap assist.
Right.
Cap assist will blow that shit up.
I feel like either Amir or George CYF can attest to this. They do terribly against Thrax because then they have to go in because Thrax is just gonna wait for you, right? Because they're the other they're like the what do you call it, the demigod, you know what I mean, of Marvel teams. And they're really patient, and they're not going to go in. Why would they want to go against Iron Man, against Magneto? So when I played my combo fiend against their actually in the casuals, I didn't lose a game. But having to play Iron Man and do the cat and mouse, I'm not going to win that. Like all the time. It's like literally who's going to be patient enough to do the counter call.
That's right.
That's what I was seeing, bro. Every random hit that was converted into a string led into the Iron Man Infinite.
Yep.
Knockdown into Psylocke. It was like every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Josh saying, "Wow, so this is what it feels like to be on the other end."
Yep. I was watching the movie fucking all weekend.
Damn, dude. I would have quit. I'm like, fuck this.
No, but that's funny they say that because I remember like when they had first brought it up, I'm like, I hate playing other Iron Man players, and like that's what you've seen all week, bro. Just hup 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 ha hup hup.
horrible.
It was a boring tournament in that sense.
Horrible.
Yeah.
You got me fucked up. I don't want to see that.
While we're on the topic of Sanford, because I mentioned Sanford comparing to the Philippines, Sanford's been very active lately in trying to get involved with the community. He kind of issued out a challenge with Santhrax. He says that he has the best Thrax right now. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, well, we haven't seen him. He said he plays on Fightcade. I haven't seen any footage of him. Have you guys seen any footage of him at all?
Nope.
I haven't seen a damn thing. He hasn't traveled. He went to Crack Till Dawn, I think.
Did he? I didn't even watch. I'm just doing other
Didn't
things.
he lose to Kest?
Did he?
He didn't go to Crack Till
Yo.
Dawn.
I don't remember
Chest?
seeing Craft Till Dawn or Sanford in it.
I
Maybe
don't think
so.
recently?
Like
Maybe the last one?
a couple months ago, maybe?
No, not a couple months ago, because I've
No?
seen them.
Yeah, I know. I was watching.
Am I tripping?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, bro. 'Cause
Pull up the footage.
Either way, I wish that he would come out here. I know he takes great pride in saying that he's the only one that ever went to the West Coast by himself
That's
to
right. That's right.
take us all on.
He does. He does.
So you got to give him his
harp on
props for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to do it again. I think we can't really just talk about what happened yesteryear and all that. Let's see how he does today. In today's climate, how do you guys think he would do?
Saying that he's the best Thrax right now is
That's
a pretty
bold statement.
bro.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Give me like top 5 Thraxes right now.
Telly,
Bill, Potter, Neo.
Oh, Bill for sure.
Yeah, Bill for sure.
Telly, Bill, Potter, Neo, Jin.
Oh, Jin has a
Jin-
very good
Yes,
Santhrax.
I
Dude.
do think his send cap is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So-
sounds
I
about
would
right.
agree.
That's about on point.
I would put Bill.
Telly versus Sanford. I think Sanford wins that like 10-8. Telly versus Potter. I think Sanford wins that.
Telly versus Potter.
If it's just Thrax,
Sanford versus Potter.
Sanford versus
or
Potter.
Sanford versus Potter. If they're just doing Thrax, I think Sanford beats everybody. Yeah, maybe he loses to Neo.
Maybe lose to Jin.
Maybe he loses to Neo.
Really, you think so?
I think so.
They've always had a back and forth.
I don't know, man. I feel like Neo is.
I think
Neo
that's
now.
I think it's only
Yeah.
because I feel like Neo will be like the only one like comfortable to sit down and like not have any like jitters whatsoever. Like he'll play Sanford to be like, this is just a 1 to 10, whereas everybody else kind of has like something to like prove, something to fight for a little bit.
Neo would
you
have
know?
to get in shape though.
Right. That's
He's
what I
not-
mean.
he's not-
Well, that's just fucking rude.
He's not.
You don't have to point that out.
You know what I mean, dude. Fucking rude.
But I mean, to answer your question, after we get past that top 5, I mean, if I were to play him again, I would love to play him again in a 1 to 10. I think that he'd probably still get clipped by Iron Man, but I feel like he would play a lot more safe. And if he can choose to do that, which is play more safe and more lame, then I feel like he would win the set. But if he's still gonna because he has a historically aggressive play style, and if he can control that and put his emotions in check while things are heated, then I think he could take the set.
Well, you guys haven't played since 2019?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, a lot can happen in 4 years, man. You've leveled up. He could make some adjustments. I mean, the time is now. The time is now to...
He's probably studied the choreography.
I love that word, dude. Things we do with our body. Speaking of top 5, guys, we can't forget about our boys south of the border. Our international players. Okay, Philippines is on the map with Amir and all those other guys. How do you guys feel about our boys down in Mexico, Peru, Argentina? Who would you guys put in your top 5? For me personally,
Pollo.
I would put Jin, Cachorro, Pollo.
Yep.
And then the last 2 would be kind of a toss-up.
I don't know if it's still Código or Mayate, or if they have any newcomers.
No, Mayate's not that good. I would compare him to...
But before it was Código and Mayate, like hands down.
Yeah.
Before, yes.
I mean,
They
we're
talking
recently,
now.
Yeah, they played recently. I think I just saw a clip of Jin playing Pollo at a local kind of like a garage arcade, and I think Pollo took it. But I would definitely agree. Those guys' names are definitely on the list, which is Pollo.
They're good.
Yeah,
They're
Pollo
good.
and Cachorro,
Cachorro and Código too. He's got a good black heart cable. I would say he lames out a lot of folks. I don't know anybody else out there. I mean, I'm sorry,
so annoying playing Código, bro.
I don't know any more players outside of that.
Would you put Patas up there?
I would put Patas if I seen more other than what I've seen online.
He's getting close. He's
Him
getting
and-
close to one-touch kill.
Yeah,
Him and
really
Cast Sentinel, no, they're not ready yet.
No, Cast Sentinel, no.
They're not ready yet. But they're both good.
But
they're both good, but they're not there yet.
I am impressed with Patas's execution. He's got great execution. I've seen his combo videos. He's got the reflies down. I feel like he's one of those players that just kind of like me, is brewing something up. And if he gets to that point where like shit works for him, he's going to become, a problem as well. He's already a problem to begin with now because of how like his Iron Man is becoming more one-touch kill now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I clown on the guy because he's a fucking turd, but he's good, dude. He definitely has something up his sleeves.
Yeah.
His South Pole sleeves.
I mean, other than that, I look at other places like Argentina. Where's Emma Marvel from? Emma Magneto?
I believe he's Argentina.
Argentina as well, right? I've seen, I think his name is, I forget, it starts with an A. He's a Blackheart player too. But I think he's from Argentina or Brazil. I forget. But there's some people popping up, man.
What team does he play?
He does a Blackheart Cable Cyclop, I think.
Shit, I don't know who. Kid Trippy from Canada?
I know. I'm like, that's Canada. That's trippy.
No. But anyways, yeah. I mean, that's who I would put up there.
Dude, it's a perfect example of what we were talking about the last episode of when you played Yipes and you beat him 5-1. Yipes had run a set with Boyo at an event called Thunderstruck, I believe.
Oh, I think I remember this. Didn't they go like neck and neck?
That shit got removed.
Yeah, it was a 1st to 10, and
Got removed.
Yipes barely edged him out 10-9 to
that's
Boyo.
right.
Now, granted, Boyo is good, but he's not like...
Well, Yipes was playing Rotron the beginning. I think like the first 6 or 7 matches, and until it got to like the score was like 6-6 or like 7-7, then he switched to MSP. It might
Was he
even
playing Rotron?
Yeah, he was playing Ro the entire time because he was beating everybody with Ro.
See,
Because that was around the time where like Yipes was just playing different teams. He's like, my MSP is literally too good. I'm 10-0ing everybody. Like, let me just play Thrax. Let me just play Ro. Let me just play.
Like I said, that's why I was excited to go play him.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting that.
Yeah.
But
because he was on it. He was on it. He was really on it, and then he bodied him.
MSP is not that scary anymore, in my opinion.
I mean, VDO's fucking MSPs up left and right. I love watching Video tear apart MSP
I fucking
players.
hate watching videos.
It's nice.
Against my teams, anyway.
I love seeing it. It's nice to see those characters do some damage, bro.
Shit.
He gonna beat our asses for this one.
All right, man. Let's move on. There's something else that I wanted to talk to you guys about. We haven't brought this up in any episode prior to this episode of season 2. This season 2 in general. we talked about stream culture last episode, and kind of like the morals and ethics and the unwritten rules, I guess, that we were trying to follow as content creators. There are some people out there that don't abide by these unwritten rules. And what I'm referring to is Fightcade, right? Which is an online platform for people to play fighting games. They have a replay channel where you can pretty much spectate any match that's happened. There are some people that choose to take these matches, do a quick edit, upload them onto YouTube, and put hashtag Khaos, hashtag Thrillah, hashtag Justin Wong, just for the sake of having views.
Right.
Under the guise of, well, I'm just, putting the content out there.
Right.
When we know that they're trying to make a quick buck at the end of the day.
Right. Trying to monetize.
I know that this has happened to you, Thrillah. Walk us through this experience, because I know you had your squabble with some of these guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, I even got into some law debates, but I lost that one on copyright laws. But anyways, it's just it's just one of those things where you just gotta be a good person or do your due diligence of asking permission to use the footage. I think that just goes without saying, right? I mean,
it should be common courtesy.
Like, I know that, they say it's public. Yeah, it's out there. It's, you got to treat it like it's an open arcade, but like bullshit. It's not even an open arcade. We're not in that arcade era where you can just be standing behind, and doing the actual work of like, I mean, you can argue that it is technically doing that, but you're literally just clicking a button to download the file.
Yeah. Right. So it's the impression of somebody stealing your work, right?
Yeah, it's literally they're not playing. I'm putting in the hard work that I've done for years, doing cool combos, this and that, and getting the W's and making it a hype, match set in general. But they're gonna use it and extract it and upload it to their channel. And let's say if it was actually somebody that had 100K subscriptions, on their followers on their YouTube channel, and they get 2 million views on average. Imagine they uploaded your footage, and they're making money off of it, and in like the thousands, and you're not getting shit.
This almost reminds me of because there's like 2 YouTube channels that kind of like light up a head, strike a light bulb off in my head, and it's Tlaylock, like TLE-Lock, and Marvel Inca Warriors. And like I don't know if they mean to do it in a bad way, because like I'll see like random like Marvel stuff come across my YouTube feed.
I think
because it's like your For You page, right?
Yeah, the Marvel Incas, at least for them, they've done their due diligence. They've reached out to me to like ask like, hey, can we use this footage of like Jin and stuff from 37?
Yeah, and
I gave them permission, But for like someone like Tlaylock or other people, they don't even ask permission. They just kind of just go and willy-nilly and put their own.
But Marvel Inca, isn't that Strago? 503?
No. Marvel Inca is just like a channel that hosts all, I think, South American, southern of the border, like footage.
Because I just saw a video uploaded of myself. It popped up on my feed,
and it shows him as like the actual
as the player. Yeah.
No, I think what Strago does is that he records it and then he like sends it off. But I don't know if it's Strago. So
I see.
Maybe we can get the answer straight from Strap-On.
Okay. From Beef Stroganoff.
Beef Stroganoff. Yep.
All I know is like when I first came across that and I seen Tlaylock, is that how you say his name?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, I seen one of like some of my footage on that guy's channel, and like I know he's always like trolled me like all of my Marvel career, so like we've never technically got along. So I remember like when I seen it, like that instantly rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm just like, we don't even like each other, but like why would you put up footage of me playing on your channel, and like why are you posting my shit? If anything, like and it wasn't even like a video. Like I can understand if it was a video of like him demolishing me in like a 1st to 5, but it was literally just like me kicking people's ass and like everyone's ass in a room and like just running a train, and he's just like putting up my highlights, and I'm like,
it's fucking horrible, dude.
I'm like, nah, dude, don't try to make money off of my shit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
What grinds my gears the most is that these matches, they weren't even in the same lobby, or they weren't even present when these matches were going down.
Right. They literally go and look.
Yeah, it's different. Like when you have somebody like, let's say, Ironic, who uploads a set between me, him, and I don't know, Thrillah, right? But he's in the lobby. He's present for the matches. He's participating in the matches.
In the rotation. Too.
These channels are just sifting through the library, picking and choosing. Oh, hey, look, Lockdown versus You Got Mail. Hit that replay button, screen record or whatever, or download the file. and then upload it onto their channel, it takes literally no effort to do
Yeah.
so. And I think that's what kind
Exactly.
of fucks me up when it comes to talking about stream culture and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like you said, Thrilla, we can't really do anything about
Can't
it.
police that. I mean, it's literally you would have to go into each person and be like, hey, take down that footage. You know, like you didn't earn it. You didn't ask me.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't a part of it. Like, I've had footage taken down when we did 37. I reached out to this channel and I did a copyright claim because dude literally took the footage from 37 from my Twitch channel and just uploaded it, you know, just without question.
Oh, I remember that the top 8, right?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, come on.
Yeah,
this just happened yesterday.
Yeah.
It's very testy waters. There was a situation with Brett where one of his online highlight compilations got re-uploaded by somebody who would make their own. He had his own SoundCloud or something,
Mm-hmm.
and all he did was take that video and put his music over it and re-uploaded it.
Oh my god.
wow.
And literally just copy and paste. And Brett went through the whole process of filing a claim through YouTube and all that. The video ended up staying up because
Yeah, it's modified. It's like sampling.
because the other guy argued that the content that was uploaded wasn't original content. Brett doesn't own Marvel. He doesn't own the game.
Oh,
He doesn't
my
own. Yeah.
God.
So that was the counter argument. That it was him putting the music was his way of expressing his art, and YouTube saw it. Oh, well, fair game. We'll leave the video up. So unfortunately, Brett couldn't win that battle. So it's frustrating.
That's
Yeah, it reminds me of like, when you see stuff on Instagram and like I'll scroll and I'll see some posts and like the original content creator be like, thanks for stealing my stuff, bro. You could have at least tagged me.
I see that all the time.
Yeah, and so it's a very common thing, and I feel like that's just, we have to remind ourselves that
It's this
common
whole-
sense isn't so common. So when it comes to stuff like that, like we have to. Like there's nothing we can do, like as far as just like you can sit there and cry about it, but like the fact of the matter is people are still going to take your content and keep re-uploading it. So I guess all you can do is just try to put that message out there, man. Like try to be considerate. Like you wouldn't want your content stolen and put it out there, or just even if you don't mean it in that way, like, hey, I'm just trying to get some more views for the community. Cool, awesome. Just reach out to me and be like, hey, Thrilla, do you mind if I put up some of your stuff and I'll put a tag of you in there?
Right.
Hey, Ivan. Hey, Ken. Hey, Daryl. And most everybody is like, yeah, man, go for it. I don't really care. So, but it's just asking. Most people just feel like, I don't need to ask. It's not that serious. But it's just like, hey, man, it doesn't hurt. Just
No, you do. You do have
like
to
take
ask.
the extra 2 seconds and just get someone's, just get someone's okay, get their approval, bro. It's not a big deal.
That's a big issue that we've been dealing with. I feel like it has kind of died down. You don't really see a lot of footage being ripped like that anymore. Here and there, we have our little fucking reloaded top 8 being re-uploaded and all that bullshit.
We've done our jobs, and I think people realize, like, you don't do that in the Marvel community. But I think outside of the Marvel community, I think it's being done heavily.
Oh yeah.
Like all the games, like Mortal Kombat and everything. But in the Marvel community, I think we let it be known that don't do that.
Yeah.
And I think as long as that message gets spread, and as long as we get that type of behavior,
we shun that kind of behavior.
yeah, shun that kind of
Exactly,
behavior,
exactly.
Then we're moving towards like something better for each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Better communication, all that stuff, which is what we strive for.
Are you guys familiar with Mr. Beast on YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that guy who's like the richest YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Or no, it's not Mr. Beast. It's The Beast.
No.
He uploads a lot of Street Fighter 4
Yes, I
matches.
am.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So that guy, he literally does the same thing. He goes to the replay channel for Street Fighter 4 and he'll pick and choose matches
You'll
that
find
have
like
highlights.
Tokido.
Yeah,
you'll
I
find,
was
like,
gonna bring him up because I remember like he was one of the first channels where I would go to his channel to watch all of Daigo, to watch all of this
Yeah,
person, to
that's
watch
right.
because he would
But
always
he
put up
doesn't-
their shit.
Yeah, but he doesn't really like if you look at his channel now, he doesn't really name drop at all. He'll just put like, oh, mix up compilation.
Yeah, no, he never did.
Or rush down compilation.
Yeah.
Or damage, like high damage. Like he's not really trying to leech off of
Right.
people's names.
He's
It's just
curating it at least.
it's just, hey, this is great content, watch it.
Yeah.
And he's kind of built his reputation as doing it, I guess, in a more respectful manner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is not everybody does it like that, unfortunately. But it's a good example to have. Dude, plus his channel's entertaining as fuck.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Plus-
I need to check it out.
Plus, I'm sure behind the scenes he was actually reaching out to these players beforehand, like, "Hey, do you mind, like, if I grab some of your footage, put it up on the channel for some views or whatever, like, get some more."
Right.
Yeah, I would certainly hope so. Thrilla, now that we got that out of the way, we got to go over some juicy stuff, brother.
Oh.
And I feel like this stream,
fruit.
not this stream. This podcast episode is about to take a very juicy turn. Okay.
Oh shit.
Quick disclaimer to everybody in the community, guys. As much as you guys would like to keep things behind closed doors, let me tell you, a lot of stuff gets out. Okay, even if you think that the person you're talking to, hey man, don't tell anybody, bro.
Send over that screenshot.
But this is so and so saying this about you, dude.
Leaks.
Don't we always get that message?
Everything is out there. It's just we keep it respectful and we keep it cordial as best as we can.
Yeah.
I wish that we were more united as a community. Okay, and that's kind of what we want to do right now is set the record straight. Because when things first started, and back in 2020 for COVID, we were all more cohesive.
Yeah.
When it came to doing the streams and all that. You mentioned helping people out with their stream setups, audio settings, video settings, what equipment to buy. Like you were the man. You were the man to go to. What happened between you and Roundhouse? You guys used to be so tight.
I mean, I think what it...
Yeah, I did see like that whole streaming shit just kind of made it take a whole like turn for the worst.
I'm just gonna speak factually in what I've experienced. For the people that keep asking, in the sessions that we have at my place on the Friday night fights, and I even saw it just yesterday, which was where's Roundhouse at? How come he doesn't come? Or where's Bill at? Where's Potter at? But specifically, why isn't Roundhouse there? I mean, we've had our own like set of issues, but to start it off, me and him, me and him got off on the wrong foot to begin with. Like ever since our start of our, kind of like friendship, always saw each other as like competition. This dude's talking shit. I mean, it goes back all the way to the Shoryuken days.
Back in SRK.
It was just one of those things where like I think a lot of people have that same first impression where like he's a cocky player. In my eyes, he was a cocky player that got away with gimmicks, and didn't like his play style, and he would be someone to boast. But as soon as someone like back at Regency, like back when we were all playing together, I like would wait until he played someone like Regency Rob or Wes and something, and he would lose. I'm like, see. Dude loses to like top players like that, but that's besides the point. It's just more so that's what I'm saying. We got off on the wrong foot, and over the years, me and him got to know each other better. I started supporting him more because I didn't want I myself. I don't like having bad blood with people, and I always took it upon myself to be that person to step up and
to be
break,
the bigger person
to
and break
be and break bread, and it's always been that. It's always been like. Me and him would have a falling out and like, but the good thing is that what I like is that I can always shoot him a text and be like, yo, what's going on, man? And he's not afraid to say what's on his mind, so I always respect that about him.
Well, that's good. The communication is there. So he's not afraid to be an adult and have a conversation if need be. So that's good.
That's right.
And it's just, but it always boils down to something like, you did this, man. Like, why did you do this? And, I'm just like, bro, it all just, I don't know what to say at this point other than, I've done my fair share of trying to break bread and make amends with things, but people just seem to see me in a different light, where I keep thinking I'm doing something right or doing something that isn't seen in a bad light, but then all of a sudden it gets
painted that way.
It gets painted that way. Yeah. Like with the whole streaming thing with like, with streaming Evo, it's like, oh, you're trying to do it because you're just trying to steamroll over everybody. You're trying to make partner with freaking Twitch, It's like,
where's all this coming from?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It all stemmed from like when we started streaming and we wanted to run like a tournament together, and I had suggested something, he suggested something, and we just didn't vibe well together in that certain aspect of trying to create something together. We had a similar image of what we wanted to do, like a similar vision of how we wanted the tournament to be ran, but ultimately it just ended up we had a falling out, and then he started to do his own tournaments, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, fuck me then, just don't even communicate with me, just go ahead and do your own thing. And that's what led to the first kind of like issues with us, was just that was I feel like he treated it as like an issue with me trying to like step on his toes, trying to stop him from what he's doing, or you know what I mean. And
That's unfortunate, man. Because we're at the end of the day, we're just trying to get people together to play Marvel.
That's the point.
As an outsider looking into like that issue, like it looked like, to me, like what I had gathered from that, it looked like Roundhouse just kind of wanted to have his name on like the tournament, like, hey, this is my idea, I'm setting it up, I want to host it, I want to stream it, I want to do it all, I don't want to share it with Thrillah. That's the way it seemed to me. And it was odd because I'm like, going back to kind of what Ken said, like, hey man, we're just doing this for the community to kind of like put on a tournament, like get some views, whatever. Like it shouldn't be about like, Roundhouse has a great career, he makes good money, you have a great career, you make good money. Like that's the last thing that I think both of you were honestly worried about, like, oh, let me make $10 off of this fucking stream today. Like, but unfortunately that's the road that it went down, or that's what it looked like anyway.
You know, and just leaving from the dance community and seeing that all the politics that were going around in there, then having to come experience it in the Marvel scene, it just sucks, you know, because it, in the end, I'm never ever trying to like be like that, you know, trying to step on people's toes, and I do it unknowingly, I guess, you know. And you know, me and him are like, as it stands, we're cool now, right? We're like cordial. I mean, if I ever were to see him because he lives near me, I'm not gonna be like, F you, you know?
Yeah.
I just think that it's at a point where it's like, okay, we've burned too many bridges. Let's just leave it how it is.
Yeah, you guys just don't see eye to eye. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to get along with everybody in your life. You're not going to see things the same way the other people see it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
What creative differences do you feel like you guys had when you were trying to envision doing this collaboration? Like, what did you butt heads on?
I mean, just more so of like what he wanted out of the tournament versus what I envisioned, kind of like what a community tournament is, which is like, if you're going to do a community tournament, you're not about like collecting like the funds or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's all given to the community. And we just had a different of opinion on that, you know, on like, if you're going to put something in, or what the winner should take away instead of money, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, I see. Like a payout and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of payout. And this was like during, like right after like Bots 3, you know, where like people were having that controversy of like, whoa, the
payouts were kind of like a big problem at that time.
Yeah, payouts was a problem. Like it wasn't really, I mean, I guess people were confused about like what the cut was going to be for each person, and that like the stream people get like 60% of the cut.
So I can get that. So he was more worried about like the business aspect, where you were still worried about the community and the streaming aspect. Like, it's not about the money, but he was like, no, it is about the money. Blah 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 blah. Like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
I guess what I'm trying to take away is, I can understand the creative differences for tournaments, but we've had a lot of gatherings, a lot of sessions at your place, at his place.
Yeah,
I don't see. I mean, I guess I don't need to probe any further, right? But I wish that still wouldn't keep you guys from, I don't know, running a set together,
right?
Yeah. Or if I have a gathering and I shoot the invite.
I mean,
is there going to be
anybody that? Like, I'm only going to invite people. Just so you guys know, I only invite people that I feel I have good energy, and you know, I've shot invites to Roundhouse, to you, to everybody who goes there. You know how it is. We have a good time.
Yeah.
We shoot back a couple drinks,
and that's not even the issue really, too, because like I can always, like I always say, I can look past a lot of things, and I'm very forgiving, and I'm still forgiving till now. Like, I shot him a text recently, like, yo, let's talk, let's chat it up. I even, you know, even after not being in his streams, I popped in and say, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, ugly cuz? You know, just trying to lighten up the mood, you know, levity. Yeah. You know, it's just like, come on, bro. We're it's a game. We're adults, gentlemen now. We're adults. It's like, come on. Like, do you want to keep bad blood, you know, like that? And if it's his own, you know, it's his, he gets to decide how he wants to treat this, you know what I mean? And if he's like wants to not mingle anymore, it's fine. You know, I don't mind.
Yeah, life goes on.
Life goes on. Yeah, exactly.
It's detrimental when you want to have a gathering and it's like, wow, I can't. If I invite this person, this person might not want to come, you know, and that kind of just.
And I've always extended an invite to him. So I mean, there's that. So,
well, that's unfortunate, but it's been like that now for a while, where personalities have kind of like kept us from growing a little bit, or everyone's like little shit they have going on the side has kept the community from growing or kept us at a standstill, to where like we should have one giant community here on the West Coast, but we have like 3 separate communities or 5 different little communities, you know, like.
I mean, let me set the record straight. Like, I have no issues with Roundhouse like that, right? I may have issues with how his gameplay style is and how he goes about, you know.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't mind him as like, you know, as a person, you know, like when we chop it up, we talk and banter, we talk shit in the same, you know, in the same light mood that we always have. And so I feel like we can always still continue that. And like, you know, I have no issues. So moving forward, like if anybody asks, I don't have an issue with Roundhouse. You know what I mean? We're just adults. If he chooses to be that way, fine. That he has that that right to do so. He's entitled to do so.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
yeah. It's just a lot of things that were happening, like Reloaded, for instance. A lot of people were missing from that tournament.
Yeah, Lockdown, Roundhouse.
Lockdown wasn't there. You know, that's a whole nother story right there. Bill wasn't there. Potter wasn't there, and they had their reasons for not attending. And
I felt like if we, as a community, if he were to look past just, you know, the you know, relationship that he has with me, it could have been so beneficial to the community to see him there, to see Locke there, you know, like to just see the community like support what it is that we play is Marvel, you know. Without him being there, it you know, it's kind of like, yo, where is he at? People are gonna ask, you know. So,
dude, it's about supporting the game,
yeah,
not this brand that you have in your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's about supporting the game, dude. I'll upload footage and I'll credit my opponent, and if you have whatever, dude, you have a SoundCloud, or a Twitch or whatever it is, dude, I'll put that in the video and say, hey, make sure you guys head over there, drop a like, subscribe.
Yeah,
like, dude, we all should be coming up, especially when we're all playing the same stupid game.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our different, you know, personality traits that are just that are not as, I guess, community based, but I mean, that's, everybody has their own ticks, their own faults, you know, but we're not perfect. And, you know, just, I feel like we can go, now that we've talked about it, you know, and if once this gets out there, like, I feel like we can start having that more resolution in that conversation.
Like you said, they're not, I mean, nobody's obligated to act a certain way.
Yeah.
But we do have the right to express our opinion on it. And that's what we're doing right now, boys. And I fucking love it, dude. First Amendment. Don't you dare take away my First Amendment.
Don't tread on me.
Don't.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Dude, don't even think about it, dude. All right.
At the end of the day, it's about supporting the community and supporting the game we love, man.
And, you know, I guess to not continue more on the topic, but, you know, Roundhouse has always given me my shout outs and stuff like that. So, like, that's why I say, like, I look back to those moments that are positive in our relationship.
Oh, for
sure. I mean, I don't try to keep it on
that's
the
all we have.
Because I still treat him like we're kind of like family, because we are both Cambodian, you know.
There you go.
That
even more reason.
That bloodline runs thick. You know, we grew up together in the same neighborhood down the street. So it's like there's more to it than just us being Marvel 2 players. You know what I mean? And that's why I can always look past that, because me and him have history, and that's more important than just us, you know, having butting heads, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And in my humble opinion, I think you guys should be a lot closer if that's the case. Even more reason for you guys to even hash it out. But, you know, it is what it is.
Here's the tricky part, too.
It's Roundhouse, man.
It's going to sound kind of contradictory, but you cannot forget that we're playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Okay. And, yeah, we can get along, but if we're talking competition, remember, I'm here to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And everybody up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So...
but that's just our competitive nature.
Yeah, you got to find some kind of balance there.
Yeah. And I must admit, like, I think that he's seen me, and I know you guys seen me go soft on like the whole Marvel shit. Like I've come to a point where like I wanted to be Kumbaya, but it can't be like that. And
well, it's just boring when it's like that. When everybody's getting along, it's boring.
Yeah, and he knows that too. Roundhouse is all about the hype, and that's why I felt like my vision at the time, and that's why like I kind of fell outside the community and just disappeared for a bit. It was because I was like, man, I don't like this negative energy. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because it can get toxic real quick. Like you can have some fun with like a beef or with some drama. So like. For instance, like I'll use me for example. So like when me and Roundhouse were going back and forth, like fucking 7, 8, 9 first to 10s, like back and forth, like that was fun. The community was like every fucking day, like I was waking up and there was like 13 messages in my inbox, like, yo, that shit was tight. You were saying this, you were saying that. Roundhouse said this to you. I won $20, dude. This is so cool. Like, are you gonna play him again? And so it's fun. And then the second that I stop playing them and that shit dries up, like no one's posting in there, and it's like, oh, GG's to Kodiak Phoenix. I was playing. It's like no one gives a fuck about that, bro. Like we want to see some like drama, some hype, like a little bit of like because that's what's fun. That's what makes this game fucking
and I
fun.
felt like I lost sight of that too. During that time when Marvel was like dying out, like I was losing sight of that whole like why Marvel is so fun is because of that beef, that hype.
But that's because like the hype was getting like super negative. It went from like, oh, you should play Roundhouse to like, all right, man, but like you're kind of missing the point. Like he's being a fucking scumbag and he's like deleting footage of me beating him and he's not paying bets. Like why do I want to keep playing him?
Footage.
And so like he was transitioning to like from being like kind of funny to like scumbag ways, and I'm like I don't agree with that. But the community was like, no, this is good. Like we want to see more, and I'm like, nah, get the fuck out of here. I'm not promoting that.
I know you touched on this on your podcast episode, so yeah, I do remember you saying this.
I totally forgot about that. Dude. We only upload our wins.
Yeah, fucking loser. Like who does that?
I must admit, I've only uploaded most of my wins on my YouTube channel too, bro.
Dude,
it
that's
sucks.
funny, man.
Does it not hurt your feelings when
That's
you're uploading
hilarious.
a loss, like your set that you lost? I'm like, fuck, I gotta upload this shit to stay true to my content.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, but like nobody wants to just watch your YouTube and just see you winning the entire time. Because like I feel like when I used to do that, like I remember I had a couple of comments and like that comment would just burn down my head. Like, oh, you're just winning all the time. Like that's all we see. Like I'm like, yeah, you're right, dude.
Like, I can't help it if I'm winning all the time.
What loss?
What did it do?
It's like I was trying to fucking lose, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
that's crazy. How everything that you just mentioned, Daryl, it's that all contributes towards your opinions of somebody. Like it's not just the gameplay. Like we're using Roundhouse, right, as an example. His gameplay is, not everybody's a fan of it, whatever. But then also the YouTube tactics, all the other stuff that's outside of the game itself that just contributes towards your overall opinion.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts, Yeah,
it's
you can't please everybody.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
As soon as you come to peace with that.
Moving on from that, now that we've addressed all of the hot points there, what we're doing right now, Thrillah, is, and I was thinking about this last night actually while we were having our session, is what we're doing now is we're building a legacy. And this is almost Joe Zaza-esque in the sense that you've created a safe space for players to congregate, and these are people that are now outside of our regular circle.
Yeah.
And we'll use Ruben Martinez as an example. This guy's kind of new to the scene, and he's coming all the way from
Oxnard.
Oxnard, yeah, and that's no 5-minute drive.
Yeah, a good 2-hour drive.
Yeah, and he's coming down. He showed up loaded with beer and ice and all this other shit.
Love it. Love to see it.
He must have listened to the last episode.
Love to see it.
Yeah,
about
I guess
street
so,
culture.
yeah.
Well, his last couple times that he came through, like he's came through like with his hands full, and I love that, bro. Because just like anything, I think we all grew up in that. You never show up anywhere empty-handed. So like, if you invite me over to dinner, like I'm bringing a bottle of wine or whatever, bro. Like I'm asking you, like, do you need something? I'm still gonna bring something, bro. Like, are we drinking? I'm gonna bring a bottle. Like it's just common courtesy. But like we touched on earlier, common courtesy isn't so common. So you got to speak on some of that shit.
You love to see it because these are people that are seeing the movement that we've created, and they not only like it, but they believe in it, and they want to contribute,
and they're adding to it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We have a group of great guys that are coming together. We're running games.
Good people.
We're socializing.
Good people.
We're leveling up. Okay, and we're getting involved. We're getting them involved, and you see it in person. You see it in the chat, dude. It's
more than the shit you're
great
doing,
energy.
Roundhouse.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that in there. Sorry.
Out of everything, like the sessions, what I've seen too is like the vibes that are being projected out there. Because when I always think about it, I'm a very spiritual person where I think like it's beyond myself. When we do things, and when we're doing these sessions, it's beyond us. We're providing, good times for people that are at home that could be having a shitty day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that could turn their frown upside down.
Yeah.
And it's even than just a regular casual watcher or viewer of the channel. Players that haven't even touched the game in a long time are now thinking like, yo, this looks fun. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I've had people reach out to me that like were OGs of that era, of those Southern Hills Golfland days and stuff like that, or FFA days, and being like, yo, Thrillah, can I come through?
Good shit, bro.
And it's like, yeah, man, whenever you're free. just come by, man. We're literally just gonna be here playing games, drinking some beers or water, whatever you do. You come as you are.
Yeah.
The Church of Marvel.
Yeah. I was actually just telling Thrillah that I had fixed up a couple of joysticks for a local in Bakersfield, and he's like a younger cat, but he was like, yo, like, is there still a Marvel community? I'm like, actually, it's funny that you ask. So I sent him over like Thrillah's link. I'm like, bro, I'm always at my boy's house. Like, come check us out. And he was like, do you think that I can come over? I'm like, well, I don't want to speak for him, but like, he always opens his doors to literally anybody and everybody. Just shoot him a message, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to invite you over.
Here's the thing too, like, it's not even just my sessions. Like, Roundhouse had great sessions. I mean, I haven't seen one thus far, but even Pasadena has his own sessions, you know. Brett, you know, holding it down in the East Coast, you know, and then that's leading everybody else to doing their own little small sessions. And it's not that it's exclusive, you know, it's just that it's in their part of town. And that's what I love seeing, is that we're growing as a community to host and not be afraid to host. Yeah. I think a lot of people like question like, yo, how do I even start this to begin with? It's just more so, hey, I have a stream. I have a capture card. I have friends, you know, that are in the area. Let's just throw a little gathering. Even Texas boys do it. The Texas guys, Marvelous Mondays. Shout out to Lazy Reaper again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love
Hawaii
that.
Boys.
Yeah, I love that the Marvel content is like kind of like continuous,
consistent now.
Consistent. Where Lazy Reaper's got the Marvelous Mondays. Roundhouse will continually put out his
Turd Tuesdays with Ken.
Yeah, Turd Tuesdays with Ken. I love that. I love that. Actually, Ken doesn't stream, but his uploads are consistent almost as a stream, that you get the live feed almost when, you know, you get to see that content. And it's exciting because now you have other, you know, I don't want to be on Twitch. Let me just go to YouTube. Oh, shit, Ken posted up a new Versa 10 with sex prominence.
Yep.
X-Prom.
So, and then you got the Fightcade matches, Beats of D versus Death Nito. So those are always nice to watch.
That's what I watch, bro.
Those are always nice to watch.
There's a lot of good stuff out there, man.
There is.
There's a little bit of something for everybody.
Yes.
And variety is the spice of life right now with Marvel too.
Yes, sir.
You love to see
and
that.
Shout outs
shit.
to Beats again. Every time like you want to comment on his channel, he tends to be very open and willing to help others too. So
absolutely.
You know, like me not liking the guy, I still have to give him his credits due to him. You know, always being responsive in the Discords and answering everybody's burning questions about the Iron Man.
He said, what? Well, this is news for me.
What? You heard it here first.
Long story short, Ivan, long story short, it's just that, you know.
Fill me in, bro.
I felt
like Craig David right now.
Look. Check this out. So it just felt like one of those things where, like, okay, I felt like he was hating on me, you know.
He was hating on both of us, bro. He was okay. Hold on. So sorry.
Like, that's like he would just
Ivan,
provide his opinion, which he's allowed to do.
So I was in the dark about this. You didn't see.
Check this out. It only just happened because of the fact that I was doing shit with Iron Man, like getting the accolades for Iron Man. But then I felt like he came out of nowhere to try and get his shine again as an Iron Man player and be like, "Yo, I was a great Iron Man player. Let me get my freaking
and we never didn't give him his flowers, bro. Like he always got his dues. I always gave him props.
But what always bugged me was that like he would be in Discord and be like, "This is not a real setup. Thrillah's Bible doesn't do stuff like this and doesn't touch on this. It doesn't like it's like, bro, like really, come on, man." Like, and that's why I had a little beef with him. But okay. I mean, do I like the guy? No. But I mean, do I respect him for providing the content of Iron Man?
And you heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. But,
no,
you know,
that's facts. I agree with that wholeheartedly because like I don't have beef with Beats either. But I remember like in that Facebook post. Like we were just talking about Iron Man and like basically out of nowhere like Beats was like, well, I don't know why you're talking because you've never beat me in a first 10 and I'm just like, hold the mother effing phone because I'm like, okay, if you wanted to go there, man, like I wasn't gonna say anything, but look here, mister, you have never in your life bested me in any type of set. And I'm like, and I would have remembered this because I remember like always thinking whenever I think of Beats, I always like throw like Beats and Observed Ego in like the same boat, because I remember like watching them together like in the seasons beating videos or like on like Preppy's website. So I always remember like them traveling together, being friends. But I remember always watching them together.
I'd never even heard of the name to begin with.
But I remember playing them both, like Beats super early in the day on Xbox, and Derek I still play him to this day because he still plays on Xbox.
Learn Slow?
Yeah, Learn Slow. So Derek's good. I've always played him. Derek has beat me in a couple of first to tens over like the past 10 years. Literally a couple. I'm not saying that to brag, but he's beat me in a couple. Beats, on the other hand, has never beaten me in a first to 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 20, anything. He's never beat me at anything. So for like the fact that he got on there and he was like, "You've never beat me, like I beat you," I'm like, okay, now you're just lying. Like this is I don't
love
like
Ivan's
this
face right now. He's like, "This is new."
and so like we were kind of like going back and forth, and like I feel like he was just getting like a little. He was like really getting ahead of himself, and I'm like, you know what, dude, I am not gonna go there with you. Like you,
it's because that shit rubs people the wrong way when you start saying, "Oh, well, back in the day, you know, I used to beat the brakes off of you."
But it's just like, dude, even if that was true, this isn't back in the day.
Where
so
are
like,
you at now?
Yeah, so like, why are you even bringing it up? I didn't even come at you with the "I'm better than you," blah 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 blah. You came out and said that, but I'm just like, hey man, like,
I'm sorry to burst your bubbles.
So like,
that's all good, man.
like I remember we were going back and forth for a little bit, and then it just instantly got annoying, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and block you, bro. Like we're not going anywhere with this. Like I'm not getting my point across. You're not getting your point across. Like let's just.
I
said forget about it.
I said forget about it, cuh. Let's agree to disagree. You're wrong, but let's agree to disagree.
All right. With that being said, I would love to see you guys run a first to 10 or a first to 15, like at an Evo or something like that.
I'll kick his motherfucking
But
ass.
he's one of those. He's one of those guys. It's like Vegeta X. Like they're never going to travel outside of their city. You're never going to see them at a major again.
Hey,
And
but Vegeta said he's gonna come to the next Evo or I think the next Combo Breaker or Texas Showdown.
He's gonna go to Texas Showdown.
Okay. I remember.
okay.
I remember seeing him say he was going to one of the upcoming tournaments this year.
Okay, well that would be exciting to see because Thrillah, you got to defend your crown, dude, for the third time.
The third time.
I'm not gonna do it.
Ciao.
I'm gonna bring my bros with me,
Oh.
and I'm just gonna sit and watch the freaking carnage happen.
Oh my God, dude.
The
It's going to be me
3P,
versus Johnny Ibanez in the grand finals.
Damn. Where'd you find this?
Where'd you find this? All right, brother. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. I do have some community questions this time for you from the community.
Heck yeah.
So let's shoot these questions over and you give me your honest, unbiased answer, okay?
I'll do my best.
We have from YouTube, Mr. Franco Tortora. His question is, Thrillah, do you think that your W against Yipes, a total wash, by the way, his words, not mine. His words, not mine, I swear to God. Do you think, let me say that again. Do you think your W against Yipes, a total wash, by the way, made him quit Marvel 2 forever?
Ooh.
Oh, this is a good one.
Fuck.
Has Yipes been absent like since that?
Yeah.
He has, huh? He's been ghost.
He definitely has.
I don't want to say that I was responsible for that.
Interesting. Baba
I
Yaga.
felt like if I were to be real about it, I would say it's 60-40, yes. And then the other 40% was he was already on a path to being like a commentator that he is now.
I mean, but he's been doing that. But the fact that he was consistently whooping ass for like months straight, and then you went over there and just beat the brakes off him with Iron Man. After he's basically been saying like Magneto this, I am Magneto.
He was
I'm
saying
too
that like
good, blah, blah,
no,
blah, blah, blah.
he did say that,
and it's true. Like everything he was saying was true.
He even said that nobody's who plays on pad is gonna beat me.
Yeah, no. So like everything that he was saying was true until it wasn't. When you beat him,
Yeah.
and then
I wouldn't
now
say
it's just
I'm completely responsible.
you sent him back to the Shadow Realm.
But I felt like what happened and what transpired after that, led him to be like, I don't want to have to talk about this.
Did you guys have
deal with
words
it.
after the match? You and him?
No, it was just more like good games. And
That's it?
I was just in my own zone trying to deal with all the controversial shit that was being popped into my head.
You didn't give him like a hold that shit, motherfucker, because I would have.
Oh no, what I did was what I did at
Bitch
Texas
ass
Showdown.
Psylocke.
I got up, I took my morning deuce.
You hit a fucking shimmy?
Yeah, I hit a shimmy, and then I bowed and got my flowers, got my money, did a little interview, and I got out of there.
Good shit.
What can I say?
Good shit. I mean, you were in enemy territory, so you don't want to stick around too
I
long
keep
and kind of
forgetting
like.
that I was in enemy territory. The way they viewed me because I'm from West Coast, but
Yeah.
like I said, I don't view myself from any coast. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see you run the gauntlet against those guys.
Again.
Again.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean,
Give
I
them.
mean, like I would love to do.
They've already done it once with you. I would like to see them.
Real teams.
Yeah, I'd like to see them kind of prepare.
Well, not real teams, but they're not as good against the Iron Man matchup like they think they are.
I mean, but still, they
like, I know you guys play against Josh and he's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but that's just one style of Iron Man.
Right.
Yeah.
We all play different styles of Iron Man.
Right.
I feel like the people that will give you the most trouble would still be G-Con, and maybe I've played Mike Infinite and he's beaten me. I don't think I ever won a set against Mike.
Really?
On some casual stuff.
Really?
Yeah. But this is like playing, Plan B now, playing at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Where like I'm, drowsy with a lot of alcohol in me.
I feel that.
Same for him too.
I feel that.
But on some real practice level, I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could say it could go either way.
I'd love to see it, man. At a tournament where you're not bringing streaming equipment, you're not in charge of the streaming at all. Like, it's just you as a competitor just showing up and playing.
Yeah.
Like, no distractions.
So then it's never gonna happen because fucking math always does all that.
Yeah.
But people always say that too. Like, I feel bad because like even in the Evo stream, I can't get away from my name being mentioned about like, yo, where's Thrillah at? Why can't he be there to fix the shit? Like, if it was Thrillah's this, and I don't want to be that person. But it's like, yeah, I mean, they weren't prepared. They didn't fucking do the time to prep for the tournament. That's why shit falls apart.
Yeah,
when you don't prepare. Anyways.
All right, next question. This person chose to remain anonymous. Their question is, for being known as the guy with the 300% one-touch kill, how do you feel about the Philippines Iron Man? And what was going through your mind losing a money match versus another Iron Man player? Two-part question. So,
being known for 300% and playing against the Filipino Iron Man, I felt like me not doing my research, that's my own fault because I didn't do my due diligence to kind of like look on YouTube like, hey, because I didn't know who was who anyways in the Philippines. I don't know anybody's name, like who, like a face to the name, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Even if I was to look, I wouldn't even know who's who because that's what you need to find out first. It's like, if I see your face and I know you play like this, I can relate to that and I can gauge my plan of attack. But they all play very similar. They're great. I would say they're not flashy. They just do the simple bread and butter. They play the lame game. They wait for you to come and just get hit by Psylocke.
Countercall.
Countercall. And, they're not as aggressive. And it's not, for me personally, it wasn't fun playing them because I'm out there and I'm actually playing Iron Man on point. The only other person that was playing Iron Man on point was Jappy.
Yeah.
There's no other Iron Man player out there other than Superman and Jappy that played Iron Man on point. Now, if we're talking about Iron Man on point, I would beat them. Right?
Yeah, and that's a huge difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between picking like
Magneto on point to get the hit versus Iron Man on point to get the hit.
Yeah. And
dude, I can't imagine what type of research you would have had to do anyway.
No,
I mean, you know the character inside and out.
Right.
Like, what?
The issue was just me being impatient and them like getting that above me because they're used to playing on damage 1, and most of their damage 1 games go all the way to timeout. So it's kind of like a training ground that they've been trained that way and they don't mind it, whereas coming from, US, we're so used to, I'm going to kill you real quick, and the game ends at like 85 seconds.
That shit bugs the shit out of me.
You know what I mean? It goes so quick for playing in the U.S. It never really goes to timeout unless you're playing a Thrax player or something like that. Or like playing Duck, where a lot of the games versus Duck will go to timeout because he's just chipping you to death, and he doesn't mind it either.
Yeah.
So.
What an experience that was, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, next question we have this is from Luis Gonzalez. He's from the Facebook group.
Oh, okay.
He said, hey, Ken, ask Math about that one comeback Strago did on him with Commando 3 versus 1.
Oh, man. Bro, that's online. Him versus me in a first to 10 real shit in person wouldn't be like that. But it being online, him doing that stupid comeback was just me saying, hey, are you really still playing? Like, on some real shit, are you really still playing with Commando while I have 3 full characters?
Wait, so were you playing like serious the entire match, or were you just like kind of fucking around with the first character and then just kept hitting you with like the corridor sword?
He's just rushing in,
and then finally you got your last character with half-life, and you're like, all right,
here's the thing.
Seriously.
Okay, here's the thing.
Knock it off.
When I've played Strago, or who was it that he asked?
Strago.
He would drop the stick when he had like 1 character left on some of the games.
Shout out to Eric Summers.
So when I would have 3 characters up, I'm like, and he would drop the stick, and I would kill that character. Oh, what? You're gonna all of a sudden you want to play with Commando now? Like, why don't you just keep dropping the stick like you should?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So had it been if I was to be like not playing with my food, he would have lost.
Gotcha.
Dude, it seems like the international players have something out for you. Like,
Do some little scummy shit.
Kichoro, Hayato Kinsaki.
Hey,
because if you remember,
suck my balls.
It was me at first. I'm glad that it's you.
Let me set the record straight. So, what's his name? Maestro. That's his name, right?
Who?
Strago. What's his name?
He always calls us master and shit.
Oh shit! I don't know.
That,
I think.
But
it's
anyways, let me set the
Misael.
record straight. Misael. Anyways,
Yeah.
the only reason why
Miguel.
I like put out like a bad attitude towards him was because I thought it was Hayato Kinsaki playing under another account, because they both played
The same team.
Yeah, the same team. And
Sentinel,
so I was like,
Strider, Captain Commando, Antair.
and for my South American brothers out there, that's why I showed him bad blood and teabagging him, was because I thought he was Hayato Kinsaki, whatever, and now knowing that he's not that, and he's a cool dude.
My bad.
I should move forward with that in general. Just treat everybody kind, right?
Like my bad.
Marvel isn't like that, and people are always scheming and has different names like
Oh my god.
You know,
Scumbags,
watch
dude.
It's still him.
Yeah.
it's still him on an alternate account.
You know what I'm saying? Like you never know who's playing under an alt account or trolling you. You know, just because they want that one up on you and sending those private messages like, "Yo, look, I just beat Thrillah. I just beat Khaos under this account."
Yeah.
Man. And they're talking shit behind. You know what I'm saying? So I always think about that stuff, but I'm overthinking it now too. But anyways,
Dude, I must have had so many alternate accounts over the years.
It's ridiculous. I've literally never made a single one. Bro, I think about that all the time, and I'm like, I'm due for one. Like, everybody has an alt account but me. Like,
people don't look at on my YouTube channel. People think MvC2 Reaper is not Khaos.
idiots.
They're like, that's not the real Khaos.
It's not. It's not. I don't know what you're talking about.
You heard it here, boys.
That's like, if you look at some of my old footage, bro, like when I would play Sanford and I recorded online, people are like, that's not Sanford. That guy's just losing. I'm like, I promise it is, dude.
I swear.
That's some blind guy.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. This episode was definitely refreshing. We touched up on a lot of things. For season 2, those of you listening, we're going to try to get into the more nitty gritty subjects. Okay, we've been very cordial on the whole origin story and stuff like that, but we got to find the backstory on some of the more juicier topics. Okay.
Yep.
Like, everybody's seen the Dark Prince interview, but we haven't seen what's happened behind the scenes, and then those are the types of questions that I want answered. So you guys can expect more juicy content this season with all the guests that we have on board. Okay.
Turn up the heat, bro.
Oh yeah, turn it up. You guys have anything to add? Thrillah?
Dude, I mean, I am just so honored to be here, the first person to have a second episode on your podcast. And dude, like I said, I'm honored. It's great being here. I'm glad I get to like vent out, get out that stuff out there to the scene, so that way you guys know what's going on. But like in the end of the day, I'm cool with everybody. I don't have any beefs. Let's just move forward amicably.
Yeah, and that's not what we want, guys. We're not trying to instigate or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're just trying to be transparent
Yep.
and kind of put it all out there. And I think that's why, like, Sanford's been very adamant about being on the podcast also, because he kind of wants to give his side on things.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be a bad idea. We're still trying to figure those kinks out. So we'll see what happens with that. Daryl, you have anything to add, brother?
Nothing much, man. I just want to see the community keep growing. I feel like me and Matt were kind of touching on this last night. I feel like it's going in a great direction. I like what we're doing so far. I can't wait for the next tourney and just see you guys out there. Kind of keep playing, keep having fun, dude. It's been nice. The Marvel community has been nice.
Yeah.
The past
It's been boiling.
Yeah, like the past year or so, bro. Like it's been active. I like the direction it's going, so let's keep it up.
Hell yeah, we're doing good things. Ivan, what you got for us?
Oh man, it's been a great podcast this time. Having 2 guests, I think it's our first time. It's a great season 2 premiere, bro. And I think we're gonna brew up even better content going forward.
Hell yes.
Shout outs to the community for always staying with us. Shoot us your comments, anything that you would like, any topics that you guys would like us to cover, and always just tune in with us, and we appreciate you being here.
All right. Hey, on everybody that we talked about, guys, shout outs to you as well. You guys have all made your contributions to the community, to the East Coast. All of the international players that we mentioned, guys, keep up the good work, keep recording content, putting it out there. Even though I know that 80% of that is my tech, I do like to see it. I do like to see it under.
I like to see it implemented
under the off-brand labels. Okay.
It's not
I
Coca-Cola.
just
Great
want to put it
value.
out there. I just want to put it out there, okay? Once again, guys, on the description, I'm going to go ahead and post up everybody's links. Once again, for Thrillah, for World, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already done so. Keep an eye out for that great Marvel 2 content. And stay tuned because we're going to try to belt out as many podcast episodes as we can, okay? Once again, this is Khaos signing off along with my boys. Love you guys. And stay mashing.
We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Like.